Hello everyone, this is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard, and here we are with another Smash Ultimate preview for stuff happening. And yeah, so we've seen a lot of Japanese tournaments. We're seeing a little bit more isolation. Not to say that's better, because I think Japan has a ton of really cool stuff happening, but I kind of want to focus on the western part of the world a little bit. And with Battle of BC coming up, we have a little bit more low key. I think also still pretty cool. So recently, like last week, we had a couple events. Vacation Land wasn't that big of a deal in terms of how stacked it was. It was looking like a Brujo sweep, excuse me. But we had Le Carpatron Duke Marriott, which is I think a Key and Peele reference. Yeah, Overdrive is their actual tag. But took a set off of semis, in semis off of Brujo, but Brujo ran all the way back and beat Le Carpatron Overdrive in the run back, and then beat Just Blue twice. We saw a bunch of different characters. I think Brujo was going Ike at some point, but also mixing in the Meta Knight a little bit. So New England is kind of weird when you don't have the classics like Light and Ling and stuff. But yeah, I think it's interesting. No Tech Zone was in Europe, and it wasn't too crazy. We did see Siski lose to Mezcal, so I made a video a while ago about the best Ridleys, and I mean this is one of the better wins that Ridley has gotten. This set was super close. M4E being a really good Sephiroth, barely lost to MK Big Boss. Siski was able to run it back, really solid losers run, barely losing any games. And I mean, I feel like Samus is pretty good against Rob, just in terms of like, I don't know, like Gyro can kind of stuff out some projectiles, but I feel like that's kind of overstated, especially because you can charge and then fire also in air, so you can kind of like avoid the Gyro sometimes. But yeah, Siski won that, but not untouched. And yeah, so we have MomoCon coming up this weekend. It's pretty stacked, really big events, a lot of FGC, a little bit of rivals. I checked ahead. This wasn't a very top-heavy bracket here. All other fighting games, like 2XKO, not that big. Like, in terms of event size, yeah, like, it's not that wild for anything. Like, one of the biggest events is doubles, and yeah, 2 people per team. So this is definitely, like, an ultimate. Like yeah, okay, you got Street Fighter a little bit. Jazzo entering Street Fighter. Let's see how that goes. Mario Kart World, stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I think it is definitely like going to be very ultimate focused. Doubles is not too crazy. I don't think we're going to see any brawler shenanigans. That I think that's taking the wind out of a lot of sales for doubles. I think Spargo Chad could be pretty interesting. Like Cosmos, I don't know. I feel like Jackal Tweak could probably beat them. Zamba and in 0 to None, Free K Flock, that'd be pretty interesting. You got double Game & Watch with Ploopy and Endothea. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, so I mean, this is in Georgia, so you're gonna have a lot of Southeast players, or at least East Coast. You also have some Mexico, stuff like that. But yeah, in terms of singles here, 450. Yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy. I've heard of Soda Juice, but I'll probably skip ahead to top 64 just to save time. No offense to some of these players, but I think this is probably a little bit better spent. My guy Zero predicted to make top 64. Shout outs to him. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you have Izuki from MDVA. We definitely could see some stuff. Sinido, I feel like Sinido's kind of been kind of a hidden boss recently. But yeah, Beast Mode Paul. I like to see Paul. Spickles also, I feel like underseeded here. Spickles could do pretty good. Regalo and Tweak. I'm trying to think if there's much Diddy Kong in NC. I don't think so. I mean, Diddy Kong's pretty linear, so it's not like that's crazy. But I don't know. I feel like Tweak has a decent bracket here. Cosmos also could definitely come out of nowhere. Cola Omega, I feel like they're both Georgia. I feel like you should probably change that, but it is what it is. Mr. E versus Vendetta, that's gonna be a hot set. Endothea could definitely be Chag here. I could see Endothea getting ninth, or even if top 8, if you get a good losers matchup. I think Endothea could do good here. But Light we did do really well recently, so don't sleep on Light. Anarchy versus Fatality. I feel like Anarchy's gonna do fine there, but you never know with Fatality. Apollo Kage, Jazo, 2 of my favorites. I feel like AK could definitely do it. Yeah, Zombo definitely seems like a good choice here, but I don't know. I feel like Spargo could definitely do fine. I mean, this is pretty wide open in my opinion. Like, yes, Zombo Zombo and Spargo are kind of above the rest pretty solidly in terms of results. But I mean, Beastman Paul, like he can definitely bring some stuff. Even Jackal, like this is a tough 7-10. Like this is not an easy opponent for Spargo. But yeah, I mean, I think that's I'm not super confident how good Jazo will do. Tweak versus Light, this would be a very interesting set, where I feel like they're both like really inconsistent, but against each other, who is more like, I don't know. I feel like Tweak playing Diddy allows for more consistency, but Light can really open someone up and do very well. I feel like Spargo is probably gonna take it. I don't know. I feel like Zomba probably does better. Well, I don't know. Spargo also has really good historical. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a Spargo win. But yeah, I feel like Wrath. I don't know. I feel like this is probably going to be kind of chalky. Like it's going to be a lot of predictable stuff. I could see Cola losing early. I could see Omega making top 8. I could see AK over Jazo. Like there's a few things, but I don't know. I don't think this is being too crazy. I do think the 2 seed, which I mean, these two are pretty close, but I think Aspargo will probably get it. But Zomba, I definitely think could. Is good in a lot of matchups. And now we have ComicPalooza. This is in Texas. It's pretty top heavy. You don't see a ton of high level talent outside of that. But yeah, so Texas and Georgia are not that far apart. So you're gonna have a little bit of crossover. Like I mentioned, Zero, he was in Virginia for a bit, but he's back in Alabama now, I believe. And so Alabama's not that far from Texas. Like yeah, definitely closer to Georgia, but like I feel like the timing could have been a little bit better. But yeah, you have more West Coast, more Texas, more like kind of central. It is what it is. It's hard to schedule things perfectly, but yeah. And so this is a pretty interesting Mars Shattuck 8-9. That's a pretty interesting matchup. I don't know. I feel like Shattuck is probably gonna win, but I mean Mars can just come out of nowhere and just do incredible. Beasley as a 16 feels a little bit tough. I feel like Beasley's doing pretty good. We also have Sam Sora coming back. Controversial a little bit, but I don't think that Sam Sora is necessarily going to be that good in terms of results. I could see Atada being Sam Sora. I don't know. Just kind of not really in there. Meister predicted to get 13th feels weird. But I don't know. Like, Meister had a really strong, career, and then last year really fell off. So I'm not really sure what to make of it. I feel like Meister could definitely make it top 8 through this path. But you never know. And you got Sora J, shoutouts. Really good Peach. Yeah, I feel like... What's... I didn't realize T. I didn't realize there were any Japanese players. T's just randomly in this bracket. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I feel like T could go on a pretty good run. We haven't seen a ton from T recently, but you never know. Atomic versus Lima. That's a rough draw. I feel like Bayo Rob is pretty Bayo favored. Got some Bayos here with Geist as well. Got some Game & Watches too with Monty. I could see Monty getting top 4. Sonic's Peanuts is... I feel like Peanut does okay versus Sonic. But I don't know. I feel like Sonic's is going to do fine there. It might be a matchup check. I think Mudace getting second would be pretty surprising. Also with Ashimo here. I could definitely see Ashimo winning. I think that Sonic versus Ryu is pretty fine, but if Ryu catches you, it is kind of over. So I feel like Ashimo is going to get second, Peep third. Mudace, I could see getting fifth. I think that Ashimo is going to beat Mudace. I think that Monty can also beat Mudace. I'm not huge on Mudace right now. I think that while Mudace is so impressive, I think it's not sustainable. I think that T also is going to beat Lima. I haven't seen a lot from Lima recently, so maybe I'm just sleeping on Texas. Who knows? But I think that Mars. I do think Shattuck will probably make top 8. But you never know. This is a pretty interesting event as well. While I think it's not quite as stacked as MomoCon, not as big either. In terms of doubles, you don't have anything too crazy. But it's something. I think it's MomoCon is a longer event, more stuff. ComicPalooza a little bit more focused, a little bit of rivals, not that much. But yeah. And then you also have Albion Arena. Mainly a fighting game event. They also got some presentation stuff. Pretty interesting using StarTG for that. But it's also pretty interesting in terms of a UK event without Bloom. Kind of a little bit wide open. We could see Kerbo. I mean, you could even see Pelly doing fine. Kendrick Olamar has been entering a lot. I'm not sure who this player is. Let me check. Because I've kept up with UK a little bit just because of all that. Okay. Harui, something like that. Okay, Aaron, something. Yeah. This is not necessarily as big of a deal, but props to UK. I feel like they're a little bit weaker compared to France. But it's cool to see them doing some stuff. And yeah, this is going to be a good weekend. I mentioned in another video that there's going to be a lot of stuff, one-day events for Melee on Friday, on Saturday. This has a lot of stuff ending on Sunday. So if you like both games like me, it's going to be Melee on Saturday, Ultimate on Sunday. We'll see. I know Level Up Expo had a really strange schedule for the ending. They were wrapping things up really fast. So if you look at the schedule, wherever it is, okay, so they're only doing top 8. So even Saturday's going to be pretty stacked in terms of getting stuff done. They're doing 4 o'clock. Just with a lot of events, sometimes each one doesn't get quite as much space to breathe and all that. But, at least you have a lot of time. It's not like you're starting at 8 p.m. and okay, we got to go. It'll be allowed to kind of, take its time and have a lot of stream sets, hopefully. But yeah, ComicPalooza, I don't know that much about who's running it. MomoCon being much more established. Yeah, I mean, okay. So Ultimate, you got on also doing only top 8 on Sunday. So I guess we'll see how the crossover is there. This is a 1-hour time difference. Wish that would be a little more spread apart, but it is what it is. Yeah, so lots of fun stuff. I'm excited.